Please read this disclaimer carefully before proceeding further. Welcome traders to analysis of indices. My name is Vic. Thanks for joining me here. If you haven't seen the DXY analysis, go and check it out because that's also one of the indices, but I post that separately. So in this one we are going to cover NASDAQ, Dow Jones, which is US30, and then SnP500, and possibly NIFTY, and let's look at UK100 as well. I'll give you a little bit about UK100 as well. So let's start with the NASDAQ. Now on NASDAQ, this is how we are looking at it on a monthly time frame. The market is giving a strong bearish signal here for a couple of months straight in one after another, and we were expecting market to fall down, which it did. As you can see, the market started to fall down here, but then quickly recovered and started to retest the previous high around here. Now this candle, which is currently in the April month, that is looking very strong right now, and this can actually be a continuation to the upside, somewhere around 14,500 or something like that, if it actually breaks through the current level, because the current level right now is kind of resistance, which is coming from the previous candle around here. So what we need to do is we need to wait for the market to break to the upside, and then we can initiate long entries. But you can see that market has already started to give bearish signals. There was a bearish signal here, there was a bearish signal here. This one is very strong bearish signal, and the market could be just trying to trap a lot more traders and a lot more investors in the market. It is trying to basically create a bull trap. So that's quite a possible, and if that is the case, then I will take my long positions very cautiously. I will go step by step. I'll go okay, if it breaks through this level, then I'll initiate long position. I'll go a little bit higher to my profit target, then get out, or maybe take partial profits, and then I'll continue, because at any moment in time there can be another correction like this, because we cannot ignore these initial rejection from the similar sort of level. So let's look at the weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, what we have is that we are, as I said, we are testing the previous high, and the market has come back down to retest that particular level here, which means that if we get a confirmation, then only it will start to go higher. For now, we'll have to wait for at least a week or so to see whether the market actually falls into this level once again. So far it has not done that. The last week actually ended right on the previous level here, and that is why we cannot be 100% sure whether it wants to actually continue to the downside for multi-week correction, or it wants to continue further beyond that. There was a very good signal here around here, and we were able to take few short positions, and since then market has gone back up, and we were able to take long positions here on the break of this midpoint of this W pattern. So this is how it is. If you are not able to visualize that W pattern, let me show it to you. Okay, so the W pattern actually kind of looks like this. Let me actually quickly change the color of it so that you can view it better. Let me use this color then. Okay, so this is the W pattern, and the market has been going upwards, and because the W pattern has formed, it is expected to have some correction, and this is this candle which appeared in the last week could be part of that overall correction, and it can continue to fall down somewhere around here as well. So that is what we have, and if that happens, then this can be called as double top on higher time frame. If that becomes a double top, then you know what can happen. This can actually fall into the midpoint here, and this can lead into an M pattern. So this is what we are looking at. This is what I'm planning to do. Okay, I'm watching it carefully, but I'm not taking the trades just based on my bias. Always trade what you see. What I see right now is that market is testing the previous high. I need to see a confirmation either to the upside or to the downside to be able to take a position on either side. Now let's look at the daily time frame. On daily time frame, we can still see that W pattern. This is looking much nicer now, And if I bring in the original analysis that we had initially, this we created, this we analyzed a few months ago now, I think. So the market has come into this FCP zone. We had 14,000 level here, so the market was definitely going to show some reaction, and this was FCP zone. There is a better level at 14,136.6 here, so the market can go there as well, because we are still in FCP zone. It can go up and down, up and down. And if the market starts to fall down, then I'm expecting it to fall down into this zone, and at that point in time we will be able to take short positions in there. If you are already short, then make sure that you're managing your positions nicely, because it can actually push one more time into this before having a correction back again. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. So always have your eyes set on to weekly or monthly time frame. On weekly time frame, this is how it is looking right now. This is an FCP zone, so it can fall. If it starts to go up, then this is the level, and extreme level is around 14,546. Near about that level is the extreme level. But we have these two FCP zones for NASDAQ right now. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame, and if you are already taking these positions on lower time frames, this is what you should be looking at. Okay, the market may create something like this, which can lead a little bit higher price where we are standing. So something, let me just quickly take that. So market may create something like this, right? There is a pattern which is going to complete here. An extended one is going to complete somewhere around here. So after that, the market is expected to fall down. We will only initiate the long position, as I said at the start of the analysis, that if I get a confirmation here, then I'll look for a long position around there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so that is what we have on NASDAQ. Let's look at US30. Okay, on US30, what we have right now is market is consolidating, but even before that, let's look at the monthly time frame. On monthly time frame, this is looking like a very overextended market, and this candle is showing me that the market may actually it has done very extended, and the next month onwards we can expect some kind of correction, or at least a bearish candle. We were expecting similar sort of thing around here, and this is the thing that I was just telling you about. Remember, same thing, right? The market came here at the previous high, performed gave a little bit of rejection, and then started to move higher. The same thing can happen on NASDAQ, but we'll have to wait for this sort of candle to appear on weekly time frame to initiate the long position, to have good long positions for for a couple of weeks, or maybe for months. But until that happens, we cannot be sure, so we'll have to be cautious. We'll have to take small targets. Okay, so on US30, what we have right now, this is looking like overextended, so I'm expecting maybe start of the next month we can expect some kind of bearish move around here, some correction at least, and we'll have to see whether it actually forms something else after that. Let's look at the weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, the market is looking very overextended. This is kind of if you are one of those people who actually look at the channel sort of thing. So this is the thing which is happening. Let me do it in a better way so that you can visualize. Okay, so this is what's happening right now. So the market is doing sort of channel, and this is the first time it tried to actually go beyond that, and if we get a break from this, then we can expect market to fall down to near about this level. Now, one thing that I mentioned in my previous analysis, that you cannot and must not ignore this. This is a very good rejection which is happening right now. This is a very good rejection signal. The market has gone up, and there could be it could be just creating a bull trap around here, so we'll have to be careful with that. Okay, so what we need to do is look at the analysis, right? So let me open the analysis here. So what we have is that we have an FCP zone right at this level, which is approaching, which is 34,360, and then The lower level has already been tested here, which is 33,722, and the market has pushed up. Now this is the initial rejection, and if we get another rejection, another signal like this, then we can look for a short position. However, if you are looking for a long position on smaller time frames, then right now this is simply consolidating. This is going sideways, and if you know how to trade WNM patterns, FCP patterns, then you know how to trade this. There are so many opportunities which are available here, pretty much like this. If you're not able to visualize, let me help you with that. So we have an M pattern, and when M pattern completes, the market goes up, and there is another M pattern in the middle on lower time frames. That's why the market is going up, and when it is doing that, it is forming a W pattern. That is why it is falling, and in here also there was a W pattern in here. So right now this is consolidating, and if that is the case, that means the mark we can play it up and down, up and down, up and down, as long as this does not break out to the upside or to the downside, because we are in a channel, right? So the market may, if you look at this particular level, which is 33,990, which is basically 34,000. So market is basically going up and down around 34,000. So if the market starts to fall down, which it already has, that means it is expected to come down to near about this level here, into this cluster of moving averages, which is also going to form, I think, if I draw Fibonacci on it, which is near about 38.2 Fib level here. And so that can actually be a good target if you're trading for a short term. This is a good rejection signal. This is a good rejection signal. So the market is looking little bearish, and that is why I was saying we'll have to wait for it, because the market is so bullish that we have to wait for it for a signal on weekly candle instead of daily candle. And if we get a weekly bearish signal, then we can look for a good downward move. If you but that is not for everyone, because not everybody is trading not everybody is taking position trades. So if you're short-term trader, then you should be looking at daily and hourly or 4-hourly time frames here. Okay, so this is what we have on US30. If the market starts to go higher than this, then the next level is going to be this, and you already have levels on higher time frames, so you can refer to them. Okay, now let's look at SnP 500. So let's switch this off and go to SnP 500. On SnP 500, if I look at the monthly time frame, on monthly time frame, pretty much like US30, because they're similar. This is looking very, 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 very overextended. There was a rejection signal around here, but this was not as strong as the US30 one. But right now, this is looking very overextended, and I'm expecting another a bearish month next month. If the candle closes like this, then there can be a bearish month. However, we are still left with near about half a week, or sorry, 1 week in this month. That means in that 1 week, if this candle retraces by substantial amount, by 50%, then there can be another bullish candle. So that's what we need to wait for. We need to wait for the last week of April to end, so that we can see where the market is heading. So let's go to the daily time frame. On daily time frame, we have the similar sort of situation here. We have consolidation, pretty much like on US30 what we had, but we have these FCP zones, which are very, very important. Market has hit, remember, the market actually hit 4,000 level, where we were expecting some reaction, right? Somewhere around here. 4,000 was somewhere around there. We were expecting some reaction, but nothing came out of that, and that created a huge bear trap. Everybody was thinking that it was going to go down, but it obviously started to go higher. Now, having said that, it's quite possible that the market may hit one of these FCP zones next month, maybe from here, or it can go all the way to the next one. And then what will happen is the market may start to go down to test that 4,000 once again, because it needs a retest. There was nothing around 4,000, so I'm expecting it to fall to near about 4,000 starting next month. But we'll have to wait for a confirmation on the weekly time frame, not before that. So you'll have to wait the end of this month and maybe another week of in the month of May. Let's look at on 4-hour time frame. On 4-hour time frame, what we have here is that market is creating another W pattern here. So we have something like this. Okay, so right now this is like, right at this FCP zone, so we'll have to see whether it actually, like, this FCP zone pushes the price up or it goes below this. If it actually ends below, then I'm looking for something like this. So this again pretty much like US30, we are sort of like in a channel here. So, and then next level is going to be somewhere around here, and in that process, as you can see, we have very good M pattern forming, which can lead the price into this level here, or maybe a little bit lower as well. And you can see that is near about lower here. Give me just 1 second. And an extended version of that M pattern can be around 4,000 level here. So something like this, the market can draw another M pattern like this, and that can lead us into 4,000. So we'll have to see how these levels work out, and then based on that we will be able to take long and short positions. Remember, all of these levels can act as support and resistance, so you do not have to have a hard bias that market wants to, like, go higher or this and that. You can simply, like, if this, you can say, if this market comes to this level and if I get a confirmation, then I'll go short. If it actually goes beyond it and I get a confirmation, then I can go long, right? So you can trade both sides depending on how the market is behaving. Go with the flow. Never, like, you can have a bias, but never have a hard bias, like, because the market can do whatever it wants to do. You cannot control it. All you can do is just control yourself. So you can have a bias. You can say, okay, NASDAQ is going to, like, reach 16,000 or whatever, like, says whatever you want to say, like, based on your analysis. But you must look at the market, what the market is telling you right now, because you're going to trade right now. That means you can maximize on the opportunities, both long and short, right now, if you look at all these time frames carefully. Okay, let's look at Nifty. Nifty is the next one. On Nifty, so the market, so far the market has been, like, simply consolidating. It was simply creating something like this. It was creating gaps and was filling here. Then there were gaps, and it's probably going to fill that one up. But you see, this market has a tendency of leaving the gaps open, right? There's so many gaps open, right? So that means it is filling of the gaps is not reliable on this particular market, but it has been doing that recently around here in this particular zone. So what you have here is that market is kind of, like, running in this sort of channel, but this price action has actually pushed the price a little bit down, and which can lead into kind of M pattern. Okay, so what we should do is we should clean this up and then see what we can have in terms of opportunities. So let me just quickly do that for you. Okay, so what we should do is we should look at these levels now. So here the market is, like, right now is creating a kind of M pattern here. There is actually, like, a couple of them. So one is like around here, and there is another one which is going to be like this. Okay, but for that to happen, it needs to go through this particular level, which is acting as support right now, of 14,287, right? It needs to break through that before it starts to fall down into the lower zone, which is going to be this. So if that is broken, then I'm looking for a short into this FCP zone. Okay, but at the same time, we also have a very good opportunity which can lead us into higher prices, which is something like this. The market may go and create kind of W pattern here, right? So, and that can lead us into back into this zone or even higher. For that to happen, it needs to go through one of the price levels, which is going to be, let me just one second, which is going to be here, right? So 14,701. As you can see, the price is actually very the range is very narrow, and that is why these levels are very close to each other. So this is making more sense if you are a short-term trader, swing trader, but short-term swing trader, not a position holder or anything like that. But this is looking like a very good scenario here, and this is also if you're one of those traders who are looking for channels and those sort of things. Let me actually quickly give you that. So this is looking like good downward movement like this, and it can lead into up and down into this FCP zone. So this is, once it has reached there, we have this water moving average as well, so that means the market can push back higher. And if it actually forms, if it starts to go down deeper into this, again we can look for a long position from that level. Right, so this is what we have on Nifty. Let's look at UK100. On UK100, personally, I've been scalping and day trading UK100 for a long period of time now, and this is one of the most amazing markets that I've actually found. It's because one of the reasons is because I'm based in UK, so it makes more sense. It starts to show very good moves on lower time frames, and even on higher time frames. You decide which time frame you want to trade, and it will have opportunities on there. So it has become one of my favorites now. So if I just show you what is happening is, let me just quickly go to the monthly time frame. Okay, on monthly time frame, this is actually not the best one. Let me find a better one. Yes, and that is the one. Yes. Okay, so on monthly time frame, it has come. Okay, on monthly time frame, it has come at the previous level where we found a very good resistance. Like the market actually fell down from that level, and that is why we are seeing a reaction around here. And another reason for that is 7,000 level here, and 7,000 level is what we were expecting when we were discussing about this W pattern to form. So W pattern completed here, fell down, and now it has come back up to the same level. Now it is probably going to create a double top, and there can be a move down. If it goes beyond the 7,000 level, then I'm expecting it to go even further higher up, because there is a very good gap available around here, around 7,300 or so. So I'm expecting that to happen, but I'm not taking a position trade on it. I'm mostly doing a day trade, or some of swing trades on it. Now on weekly time frame, the market came right into 200 moving average and started to fall down. Remember, this is the previous level. This never touched 7,000. The market this time came to 200 moving average, also 7,000 level, and then in that process it created a very nice looking W pattern here. Let me just quickly take that. So this has, oops. Okay, this has created this W pattern here, and that means the market was expected to fall down, and I was able to capitalize on this, and a couple of other traders, FCP traders, were also able to capitalize on this market. So this was kind of like a calculated move. There were so many hundreds of opportunities available in this area alone, and so what do we expect? Now 200 moving average is actually a very good one, and that means the market can push down for another week or so. That is possibility, but you see, it may take time, because the market has turned bullish. You see, there are 4 candles right up, reaching to that level. That means it can actually show me a little bullish candle on weekly, and then it can fall down. But nonetheless, my bias, short-term bias, is going to be a little short here. And let me go and switch on the original analysis here. So this is what we had. Remember, this is what we discussed last time when we were talking about it. So the market was supposed to come to 7,000 level, which it did. It has actually gone beyond, and that is the level. Now I'm expecting it to go even higher into this level of 7,081, into this FCP zone, or even higher, and off this FCP zone, which is here. Okay, now this is the gap this level is the gap level where the market fell down at the start of the corona. So if the market starts to go higher than this is the position trade that I'm going to look at. This is going to be very nice one, but for now let's deal with this W pattern and 200 moving average. So right now it can fall back down into one of these levels, and if I get a confirmation, then I'll look for a short opportunities. If next week it shows that it has gone above 7,000 level and it wants to go higher, then I'll take a long opportunity into this level of 7,081. Okay, until then I still have a short bias for now. So let's see how it actually plays out, what kind of confirmation we get on next week, like on daily basis. Right, so that's what we had. So this was a very long analysis video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. There was a lot of educational content in there, and I covered US30, which is Dow Jones, and SnP500, NIFTY, NASDAQ, and UK100 as well. So hopefully you will find a lot of value in there, and you will support this channel by hitting the like button, put in a comment at the bottom of this video, and share it with other traders and trading communities. Let me know in your comments what you think about this analysis. Is there any kind of opinion that you have, or if you have your analysis that you want to discuss? If you have any questions, put that into comments section as well, right? And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great trading week next week. If you're interested in learning how to analyze the markets the way I do using Fibonacci Confluence, then head over to Vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see Core Strategy Training Program. On this page you'll be able to see the testimonials of previous students and also look at the brochure. The brochure has a lot more information, including the course structure and the Fibonacci Confluence Training Program curriculum. This is a very extensive program in which we cover basic core Fibonacci concepts along with the advanced concepts to analyze the markets with high probability. If you're interested in joining this program, come to Vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see and submit this form.